All right, let's jump into it, guys. Everybody, I think, knows exactly what's going on with Travis Hunter. Um, and it's one of those situations where he's gonna go outside. I don't think it's a matter of if, it's a matter of when, if he doesn't listen. And I think part of the main problem is the approach everyone's trying to take to give him his warning. Because from what I've heard, whether it's comedian Godfrey, Cameron and Mace on coming, to come and talk to me podcast, or even Joe Butt, I think the main thing that's kind of going over his head and everyone else's head is everyone's talking to this man from a perspective of men that have been, for lack of a better terms, pulling women their entire life. Like they've been getting women their entire. So it's a lot easier when you've been when you've had more experience and you've been down that road to kind of point out some red flags, and vice versa. Women, the same thing. If you've dated men, in your pursuit to find the one, you're going to start to recognize certain red flags. You're going to start to recognize what to look out for. And I think the warnings people are giving Travis Hunter are going clear over his head because, for all we know, might be the first girl that ever really showed him love like this, or we'll use love loosely, but showed him any type of play like this. Like, if we just keep it all the way honest, men, we know Travis Hunter for why we know him. He's an amazing athlete, a generational type talent. Objectively speaking, what if you take away all his football abilities, just objectively speaking, he's not the type of guy you're scared to lose your girl to. Looks and personality wise, let's just keep it a stack. Even when she was doing the video and she kind of made the little scrunch, oh, he's not my type. It made me think exactly of watching that movie. What's the movie with Jamie Foxx? Booty Call. When he came in with the same type of hair Travis Hunter got, and she looked at him. She saw the haircut. She saw his dark skin, he little whatever, and not. And she's, I mean, it's a movie. She's acting, of course, but it gave off that same energy. And when you have guys like that who never really are pulling just off of who they are on the surface rather than what they bring to the table, it's harder for them to really understand, like, hey, that girl may not be in it for the right reasons, because all they know is the one time they get it, she's all in. She's telling him everything he needs to hear. She's transferred with them from different colleges. She keeps them on a tight leash. She can't even address the public without her right there in the lives. They're wearing matching shit. She got him on a tight leash. My question, the thing that I'm looking at most or paying the closest attention to is is his coach going to say anything? Because Prime has been through this. We saw it even on their senior night when his ex Pilar tried to come back in the scene. Like, Prime is someone who's been through this and can give a firsthand account of why this may not be what you want to do. You know what I mean? And even deeper than that, I wonder if his dad is active in his life, if he has any uncles, any older cousins. Like, there has to be someone willing to tell you, hey, bro, you don't need this to blow up in your face to make sure this is, or to make you understand this ain't what you think it is. And unfortunately, I think looking at this situation, it's going to be one of those ones where he needs to have an example that he can no longer deny for him to truly wake up to it. And even then, who knows? Prime example, if now you going to the league, you're not going to get that same clout and status you had in college. Like, initially, yeah, going in and the rookie camp and all that stuff, whatever. But let's call a spade, bro. It's not like this man was playing against SEC and Big Ten talent. The one time he could have played against Oregon and Caleb Williams at USC, he was hurt, not his fault. So all this hype you have now coming out of Colorado in that Big 12 conference, it may not carry over into the NFL. Whether the clout or even your capabilities, like you're looking to play both sides of the ball. We don't have to get too much deep into why that made the both sides of the ball thing may or may not work. But the point being is, at some point, you got to look at the situation. If I'm speaking to Travis, and think to yourself, hey, if I get hurt next year, we don't want that to happen. I'm a fan, but hypothetically, if I get hurt next year and now my career is never the same, or dare I say, God forbid, we don't want to say, but like hypothetically, let's say somehow then you end up being considered a bust, right? And you don't have these big max deals. Can you guarantee she's gonna stay there to hold it down? Can you guarantee she's not going to get frisky with someone else on the team? What if you get drafted to Houston? Yes, you got some real snipers in your locker room. You got Stephon Diggs type dudes, but then what about the rest of the city? You think you'd only do it with money and influence? Like I'm being all the way real because it's a little bit easy to keep somebody eyes on the prize in the middle of Jackson, Mississippi. And every city for the record that I'm about to name, I've lived in. So I'm not just speaking out of my eyes. It's very easy to keep someone's eyes on the prize in Jackson, Mississippi. It's easier to keep someone's eyes on the prize in Boulder, Colorado. You get drafted to LA, Miami, Atlanta, New York, Houston, Dallas, Nashville, all these big cities, it's gonna be a mutual thing to see how y'all go through. She can't go with you to every road game like now. You know what I mean? So it's just, bro. If you don't hear nothing else and no other message resonates with you, just look at it like this, bro. If you really love her and you want to be with her forever, why rush forever? If you're gonna be married anyway, you're gonna have kids. That's never gonna change. That's something that's gonna be with you for the rest of your life. So why rush it? Why jump into your rookie season and think, oh yeah, let me marry her before I, secure a long-term deal. Let me marry her before I even get into spring training or two days in summertime. Like it's just right now you're basically you're going into the draft and you're telling all of these scouts, all of these GMs, hey, I have all these skill sets, but right now the only hurdle that I have is all these distractions on the off field. And even though it's a red flag, even though everyone else seems to think that it may not be a good idea, I'm going to lock in and fully commit and go nose first into everything and really submerge myself into this possible distraction off field. Like it's impossible to think that these scouts and these recruiters and these GMs aren't looking at you like a red flag, bro. Like, look at this beyond your love. Look at the bag, bro. You've been here your entire life working to get here. And now in the final quarter, now you're just adding stuff on for scouts to kind of look at you with a grain of salt in a way, because again, no one can deny your talent. The only thing that has been proven is how it measures up against other NFL talent. No one can deny your commitment to the game, but we can't really guarantee that that distraction ain't going to be like one that we've seen a whole lot of examples of, where now you can't perform. Like, okay, let's give another example, which I hope this doesn't happen because, again, I am a Travis fan. Something happens, y'all are together. There's someone, one of you steps out, or she decides she wants to divorce you and take the money, right? Let's say it's the worst case scenario, like everyone says, she gets pregnant and then she immediately wants a divorce, wants to take all your money. For someone who evidently doesn't have that much experience with women, I don't think you understand the psychological, like, just how much is a divorce will drain you, and then trying to bring that in to the facility and then go perform, lift heavy weights, run at high speeds, be able to break down coverages, be able to read an offense to know where your assignment is going to be. It's really hard to do that when the first girl that you've loved, you're real, like this is like some puppy love shit in my eyes, but like you're real, the way he talks about how he loves her, I've never heard her really reciprocate it, but we know for a fact he loves her. Imagine that type of heartbreak, bro. Like this is the type of shit you got to think about. Like that's not easy to perform. And Uncle, I'm about to call him Uncle Shannon Sharp, I think has over the years done a great job of always reminding athletes that anytime you step on the field, that is now essentially that everything that you do out there is going to be put onto your resume for when it's time to renegotiate for another contract. So you can't come into a max deal and they're saying, well, look at these highlights. Look at this. We tried to let you do both sides. Here's you getting cooked here. Here's you getting locked down here. You can't walk in. Hey man, y'all know my bad. Like I was going through some shit. I was going through my divorce, but I'm good now. I'm good now. I'm ready. I'm locked back. Nobody's trying to hear that because now you just sound like the dude that's going through what we already told you was going to happen and you still ain't learned yet. You kind of just, now your life is what it is and we're ready to win now. So again, I think one of the major hurdles or learning curves for Travis Hunter is most of the people explaining to him are doing it from a standpoint of a guy that's just constantly pulling. When he's told you multiple times in the story, that's never been him. When you look at him, no homo, like I'm not saying, oh, Travis, but just objectively speaking, take away all his status, all his that's not the man that you're walking and you're like, nah, he about to steal my girl, man. I got stay away from my girl. Don't go over it. So it for someone like that, they don't really it's not blaringly obvious to them the way it is to us what's going on. So I would say again, if there are any NFL players that are a fan of him or any even former players, anybody that's just been at that level and been through that that can contact him, that you think he will listen, I would really, really like just challenge the idea. You don't even got to be mean, disrespectful, because you saw how he responded to Godfrey. He doesn't really seem to be taking the information well. So a lot of times you just gotta approach it different. You gotta really just instead of telling him, hey, this is why it's not gonna work, or hey, this is why it's a bad idea, just start questioning them. Hey, bro, we know how you feel. Do you think she loves you? What does she love about you? What does she say is her favorite thing about you, man? When's the first time she said she loved you? Who said it first? Okay, what does she do? Like what you know what I mean? When you're upset, you're not feeling well. Is there like a meal she makes? Is there like a she knows your movie? You know what I mean? Like I'm just talk to the women in your family. Women know women. You know what I mean? Talk to the women in your family. Hey, talk to someone who's happily married in a happy relationship. Ask them, hey, how'd y'all know when y'all got to where y'all are? How was it when y'all started feeling this way? And then ask them straight up, do you see that in her? Do y'all really, before I put this ring, do you really look at her as a girl that's in love? Do you look at our scenario or our relationship as, something that can't be penetrated? Like that this love is just that strong? But bro, there's more examples of people that ignored the outside warnings and regretted it than there are of people that ignored it and was happy as fuck they did it. I'm just saying. I'll leave it there, bro. But again, just consider what you're hearing. No one's saying this out of malice for you. No one's attacking Travis Hunter through this. People aren't even all the way attacking her. We're just letting you know, motherfucker, this ain't a good idea. If you like her, cool, keep her around. But if you really think this is gonna be forever, then there's no rush to forever. Why are you getting the state involved? She wants a ring, give her a ring. She want to walk down a church, do that. I don't understand how, as the breadwinner in the scenario, man or woman, it just doesn't make any logical sense to now have the state sanction your relationship. Like it's all liabilities. There's absolutely no benefit. If you can go through the list and you can say, make a T chart, here's where Shorty benefits, here's what I get out of it, and then y'all go down, you're like, oh, this makes sense. Let's do this. That's one thing. But if it's like, she's gonna be entitled to your money, she's getting more famous off the YouTube success y'all created together, the Instagram set y'all created together. I'm just saying, bro, if it all goes away on your end, is there anything she can now bring in to keep this afloat? Is there any guarantee that she's gonna stick around if it was all? That's all. Just think about it, bro. That's all I'm saying. There's no right answer. Love is love. I just think there's someone out there who will genuinely love you.